Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Today I'm in my military getup because I'm going to be doing pack 5 of the Agora Models release and build the SAS Willys Jeep. So this is where we had got to last time. Looking pretty good, huh? Let me gently put that down there. On the members channel, I did want to break up some of those sort of like sandy colours here. So obviously we had these rucksacks, but what I've been doing is changing the colour ever so slightly and doing a bit of weathering and detail on them. So it is going to break up a lot of that colour, and I'm going to be doing that to the whole thing before I weather it. So I will show you how to do that as well. I have recorded it on the members channel, but anything I've done there at the end of the video when I'm putting it all together, I will give a montage of those sort of things as well, so you can see them for yourself. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, you can get this through Agora Models. I have put a link in the video description there, and you do have that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So for stage 31, I'm going to be bringing up this wheel here, because obviously we've already fitted one wheel already. In stage 31, we're going to be fitting another wheel, which is the right wheel. So let's get stage 31 open. Bring over the chassis that we've been working on, and as you can see, we've obviously done this one here, so we're going to be doing exactly the same on this one over here. So we do have a locating lug in two places here, which is going to help to align this. Just like that there. So once that's in, I'm going to be holding this in with FM screws. I've loaded up my screwdriver here with them already, and I have put some oil on this screw. I figured I'll use my ratchet screwdriver for this. There we go, one in there. And the other one's just going to go into the recess just here. Now if I just turn this upside down, I've then got this bracket that I'm going to need to put in, which is just going to be following the shape of this contour here. That's going to be held in with DM screws, and these are coloured screws, as you can see there. As you can see, we've got two of these. And then I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second, because I've got the wheel here. I don't want to take the hub off, so just put my screwdriver through here and pop that off. And you can see that I've already got the washer in here. I just need an OM screw. Bring over the car. I'm probably best on the top camera here. I'm going to be putting the wheel on. Just like that. The washer will go in there. And then the OM screw. And that's going to hold that on nice and tight. And to ensure that happens, I am going to use my PH1 screwdriver here. Perfect. And then I can put this hub back over the top. And there we go, we've got both wheels on the Jeep. Okay, in stage 32, we're going to be doing the voltage, regulator and battery. As you can see, we've got another jerry can here to put together. I'll do that in a second. Let me just put the parts for that to one side. Bring over the car again. And first thing I'm going to do, if you see here, we've got 4 holes. We're going to be putting this into place. It needs to be this way round with the detail here facing towards this edge. So it's going to go in just like that, held in with SM screws. So 4 of these, get these all the way in. Now the battery is next. That looks like this. This can only go in one way because the way the lugs are laid out here. If you try and put it in the other way, actually, I don't think it's going to let you. Yeah, it's just going to sit funny on there. So it can only go in one way like that. Need to break open a CP screw here because the battery's held in through from the underside here. And there we go. That's in place like that. Put that to one side. I'm just going to do this jerry can now, which is just a case of pushing these 2 parts together. We've already made one of these before. Opening these DP screws and then screwing these into place. So one there and one here. Again, these are going to get weathered up afterwards. This is really going to break the colours up, but they are theoretically going to be this colour. I'm not changing the colour at all, I'm just changing the shade of this colour just to make it look a bit more weathered. One in here, like that. And then I've got these two parts here to put in. So, one there, and then the cap goes in here. There we go. That's another jerry can created. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 33, we're going to start the radiator, as you can see here. And this is just going to be a case of taking this part of the radiator and having it this way round. I'm going to be putting this into position. It needs to go like that, so on the top camera, you can see how these parts fit, with these two lining up at the bottom here. I'm holding that together with some EP screws. These screws have got a little flange on them. I need two of them. One there and one here. I want to take this detail that's going to go on the top of the radiator. It's just going to press into the lugs here and on the other side here and push that into place. Perfect. I need a CP screw now. It's going to hold this top section into place here. So just down here like that. I do want to hide that screw, so I don't lose this cap now. We do have a keyhole pattern so that I can put this over the top of that screw. That's going to hide the screw. Cap's got a little nipple on, as you can see. This is now going to be going into the Jeep. And basically, as you can see on the bottom here, we've got two holes here. Going to be fitting onto those two lugs there. So this is going to be fitting on just like that there. I'm holding that in from the underside with CP screws. Probably best to actually turn it upside down when you do this so we can line these holes up here. So one screw's going in there and one's going in this side. There you go. That's the radiator in place. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 34, I'm going to be fitting the engine and radiator grille. This is going to be a big stage, I'm guessing. Okay, first thing we've got these little brackets here, which are going to go into the holes just either side of the radiator. We want them to go this way round. They're going to push into the points here on this side. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side over here. Now we've got some pipe here, which I'm going to need to cut down. I need a 4cm piece. Perfect. And I need a 7cm piece. Now each one of these squares is a centimetre. That's how I can lay these out. Now if you look here, I've got some contact points for the battery. So I'm going to need to put these pipes onto each one of these nipples on these terminals. So one here, just like that, and one on the other side. Okay, so the first terminal that we've got, which is 4cm, I want to run down through the side of the battery just here and plug this into the terminal slot. And as you can see, that cable is now running down the side there. Just put that to one side and bring over the engine now, which if you don't remember, looks like this. And I want this to go on the solenoid of the starter motor just here. Make sure that's all the way on. Because I'm now going to be putting this into the car. Now when we put this in, this exhaust pipe, we want it to be in the gap there of the steering gear. So let me just put that in like this. And if you do it that way, it should just sort of slot itself into this place here, making sure it's going to sit into that recess there. Perfect. And that's just fit absolutely perfect in there like that. So a couple of HT leads come off here. I'm just going to put them back on. I want to hold these in with 2 FM screws first. Now these are going to go into the positions just here. So one that side. I am going to use my bigger screwdriver now. And one this side. Now this engine isn't going anywhere now. Okay, I now need one of these coloured DM screws. I said this was going to be a big stage, didn't I? That's going to be holding this side of the engine in just here. That is in solid now. I can now connect up that other battery terminal here, which looks like this. And you saw it just pop off then. That means that I'm going to just put a little bit of glue just over the nipple of that solenoid, get that back in. There you go, that's in. I love this stage because we are iconically bringing the whole lot of the front together. As you can see, I'm now going to be putting on the headlights and front grille. So this is actually going to be going onto the section just over here. I'm just lining up the holes here. And what we're going to need to do is we've got this tab here, which we're going to need to just push down with a screwdriver to get it so it's fitting underneath this bar just here. So let's do that. And that has gone in absolutely perfect, as you can see just there. Okay, so one of these DM screws that we had, that tab that I just said we've got to push down on, is now in place underneath the car. And if I turn it over, you can see that just here. I'm going to be putting a screw in here to hold this into place. These ones here are going to have CM screws. So one that side and one this side here. And then I want these DM screws again through the two holes in the sides just here. And we're going to be doing that on both sides. Just do the other side here, get them in. So there you go, that's the grid in place and the radiator in place. I've got this pipe here, which is just going to be going, hopefully you can see this, onto that lug just there. This way round, so it's this side that I'm pushing in. I want to turn this over and ensure that this pipe goes into the radiator here. There's a little hole in the radiator. Perfect. And that's in there. So that should be rigid, that pipe now. Excellent. Okay, the next section I've got looks just like this. So this is going to go into the 3 holes on top of the engine here. Just going to rotate it round into position. Just like this. So it's coming off towards the radiator just here. Like that. Excellent. It's going to be held in with 3 EM screws in here. You do want to make sure that the radiator is flush towards this edge here, because this is actually going to be pushing up against this into the position just there. So it should look like that. All I need to do then is just at the back of the transmission here, we've got this section here, which is going to be having this into place. It's just going to go into the holes here. I don't know which way round it goes. Let me just try both ways. Ah, it's that way there. And I've got these EM screws here, and I need 2 of them to hold this into place. Now they haven't asked me to connect this up yet, which I'm thinking is going to be going to the cap, but because they haven't asked me, I'm going to leave it there. But look at that. That was a stage and a half, that was, wasn't it? Look at that. Excellent. Okay, in stage 35, we're going to be building the, am I pronouncing this right? Theodolite? I've probably butchered that. Someone's going to phonetically say it for me in the comments. I know they are. It's spelled T-H-E-O, Theodolite. Theodolite. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. Obviously, we've got a wheel here. I'm going to put that to one side. And all I'm going to do is just take this section here first. And I'm going to be adding this shaft to this. It has got a keyhole pattern, so it can only go in one way, just like that. Did I say keyhole pattern? I meant it had a D-shaped pattern. Putting this at the top, and then again another D-shaped pattern just into the side here for this little detail, which I will show you once I've got it in. Perfect. Which is like an azimuth, looking like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 36, I'm going to be fitting the rear inner wheel, which we have done before. So it's a case of taking these sections here. This is metal, putting this over the top just like that, holding those in with CM screws. They then want me to put this into some water, some hot water, which I'm not going to do. I'm thinking I might be all right here. We're going to find that out together in a second. Because I'm going to be pushing this into one side of this wheel here, just like that. Turn it over, line up the other side so that I can see the holes underneath here. And I'm going to be screwing those together with BM screws. Now at the moment, the tyre is cold, so I don't think there's going to be enough thread, if you like, to piece these together, as you can see. So I am going to need to boil this tyre up. So we've done this before. Got a cloth which I'm putting down like that so I don't destroy my mat. This is in boiling water. I'm going to show you how, just by putting that in there for just like a minute, is going to be ample to get this the way I want. Shake it, all the water off. Work a little bit quick, but you can see already how spongy that is now. So that now when I put these BM screws in, we're going to have no problems with them biting together. Okay, let's just move my water out of the way, because the way things have been going for me at the moment, that water will spill everywhere if I'm going to knock it. Okay, 4 screws here, and then make sure they're all nice and tight. Now the good news is we get to put this onto the Jeep straight away. So what I'm going to do, put this over the top just like that, take the washer, put that in there. Once again, I'm going to need one of these OM screws to hold this whole thing into place. And then I'm going to be taking this hub, looking like this. That's going to go over the top there. Push that all the way down. And then finally we've got the centre of the hub, which goes in here. Just like that. That's in place. Perfect. And that's all there is to do in that stage. The penultimate stage here is stage 37, where we're going to be fitting the front bumper. I apologise for the funky sound then. I forgot to put my microphone back on when I put the wheel on. So just bringing this over, it's not too hard really to see how this is going to go. This is just going to be going on like that. And we've got 8 DM screws, which is going to hold this in. And I think we all knew that was going to fall off before I put that on. I don't know what law it is. Is it Hockham's law? I can't remember. If something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong. What law is that one? I just knew that was going to fall out. Okay, so there's 4 at the top and there's going to be 4 underneath. So I'm going to get all of these in. Turn it upside down. Do the ones at the bottom here. And there you go. That is complete. So in the last stage of this pack, it's a big pack, but there isn't really much to do. We're going to be fitting the tow hook. As you see, we've got this massive panel here, which I don't know if we're using, to be honest with you. So I'm going to keep it in this plastic for a second. Obviously, it's these little bits here that I'm interested in at the moment. What I want to do is take this bracket and the hook and put these together. So this is going to go in here like this, line up the hole, and I'm going to be putting a CP screw just through this side to keep that in place. Quite hard to ensure that you've got this all the way through there. I think I have. I'll find out once I take my finger away. Yep, there we go, that's in. This is then going to be going into this side here. So it's going to go in just like that. And then once again, I've got a CP screw. Which you do want to make sure goes through both ways, because then that will provide the resistance you need on here. And now we want it this way up. This is going to be going into position just on the front there. And that's going to be held in with the CM screws we've got here. And get these in nice and tight. And I am right, we don't actually use this in this stage. So that means this is how it's looking. And we have done loads on this pack. Looking really good, isn't it? Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, Agora Models, links in the video description and QR codes on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.